Hello and welcome to today's video where we're going to look back at the LEC's last, what do we have here, 5 seasons and go over why one of Rogue or Carmine Corp are going to get to summer playoffs or season finals, however you want to look at it. Of course, this is a different format, so let's keep that in mind. But at the same time, it is interesting that once out of the last 5 years has a bottom two team not gotten into summer playoffs or even in the case of season finals last year in the LEC. You know, a lot of people want to say Rogue and Carmine Corp are dead. They are not going to get over the hump and get anything done. And we're going to look at the teams that did and what changes they made. And also, we have to keep in mind Rogue and KC both made changes already. To some degree. Rogue have swapped out top lane. Finn is in, Sisgenda is out. You can argue he shouldn't be, but whatever you want. But they have started to change something, and KC have also changed the coach. Yamato is out, and Reha is in. I think Reha is the coach. So both teams went 2-7, and both have started to make a change and to see what happens. Keep in mind they have played this week. And I think Rogue are 0-3. KC might be 1-2 or 0-3 as well. I honestly, off the top of my head, I probably should have looked at it before I even just did this video. Watching the games is one thing, but remembering everything is another. So, 2023, last year, both Fnatic and Excel went from bottom two in winter to season finals, and in the case of Fnatic, we saw them go to Worlds. Both teams made changes. That is without a doubt. So, Fnatic went 2-7 and then 4-5. So it's not like they dominated in spring, right? So to think Rogue and KC need to get to the top of the standings to not be dead is a farce, in my opinion. So, Fnatic, they swapped out Wonder for Oscarinen after spring. They swapped out Reckless. Well, they swapped out Rux for Advian at support in winter to spring as well. So 2 changes were made. But then, after, they also changed coach, Crusher to Nightshare. Keep that in mind, a coach change as well. And then in spring to summer, they swap out the bot lane completely. Reckless is gone. This playing around between supports is gone, and they bring in Trimby. They trade Advian for Trimby, essentially. He leaves Koi, and they have a new bot lane. And 3 of the starting 5 from that winter split are gone in the case of Wonder. Now, Wonder did come back for season finals and actually help them get to Worlds. That is with, that needs to be mentioned, but they did make some changes. Now, Excel, they sucked again in spring. They went 3-15 combined between winter and spring in the first 2 round robins. At first, they changed Targamas out for Limit, Vethio for Abadage, which you would think is a downgrade, but they made those changes in support and mid lane. And Young Buck for Hidden, or Hidon, so I'm going to go Hidden with that one. So 3 changes early on. And then from spring to summer, Peach comes in place of Xerxes. So they also made 4 changes, and Kaz joined, Kaz. Kaz was with Mad Lions before joining 100 Thieves in 2020. I think he was with Mad, or was it Excel with Nuke Duck? Either way, he joined 100 Thieves alongside Nuke Duck in 2023, and then would leave and become coach of, a coach on the Excel staff, and he probably played a role in their recovery. So both teams from last year in this same format went to season finals and were a top 6 team to get there. In 2022, that was the one year where BDS and Astralis, both teams in the bottom 2, did not get to playoffs in summer. In 2021, Astralis and Vitality were bottom 2. Vitality found a way to get to top 6, though, in summer after going 5-13 in spring, which is, they went 6-9, 6-16, so slightly worse than 6-12. Jesus Christ, 6-12. So they went slightly worse. There's a glare on there. Worse than Fnatic, but much better than Excel, right? So they're in the middle there. And they only swapped out three pieces. So they made changes nonetheless. Skeens and Malika are out, and they brought in Selfmade and Leader. Selfmade, of course, a very good jungler, and then Leader, a player that's kicked around as a sub mid laner for multiple teams. And also Duke was replaced by Realistic or Taz. It's hard to really identify which one. Taz was given head coach on Wikipedia, but Realistic was listed as a coach on the staff. So they made a coaching change, and they also made a change to jungle mid duo. In 2020, SK and Vitality were bottom two. SK would come out of the basement and be a top 6 team in summer. 4-14, so they struggled as well, and they made 2 changes. In mid lane, I guess they changed mid, top, and coach if you technically get, So Sacre was their top laner. Gen X was a mid laner. Then when they went from spring to summer, different coach, Unlimited, is no longer the coach at that time, and Jez becomes their coach in summer. And in doing so, Zazie comes in to play mid lane, and Gen X goes from mid back to top lane, and that team finds a way to get it done and goes to summer playoffs. 2019, Excel and Rogue. Rogue made some big-time changes. Coach is the same. Freddie was the coach. I assume he just stayed the coach because he's been the coach of Rogue since day one, pretty much. If not day one. They went 2-16 in spring. That's pretty bad. Rogue and KC both could go 0-9, and I guess I could still argue there is a chance if they make enough changes to somehow get to season summer, do well in summer and find a way to get to season finals. Because Excel did it, so it's there. They swapped out all 5. So Prophet, Kikis, Sunkux, Haku, or Hiku, sorry, I don't know why I said Heku. Hiku and Wadid turned into Finn-inspired Larson, Woolite, and Vonder. So, Prophet would play a bit in summer for the team, and then Finn became the full-time starter. So, outside of that, the other 4 roles are essentially swapped. And, of course, we know Inspired and Larson went on to have great careers since then. And those 5 players for Rogue really haven't done anything since. And I imagine most are retired or coaches now. Or playing in ERLs in some way, shape, or form. And, I don't know, just kind of staying alive in the scene. But regardless, the point of this video, in my opinion, it's silly to rule out Rogue and KC. Because 4 of the last 5 years, we have seen teams find a way to be a top 6 team by the end of the year. And we've also seen that in last year's case, with this same format, both teams found a way to get things done. So, in the comments, similar to how I talked about the LCK yesterday, predict which team has a better chance of going to become that team that can be a top 6 team at the end of the year. And I mean, if I had to guess, it'd probably be Rogue. I think Rogue still have good players in comp. Larson, Marcoon, if he's allowed to do whatever he wants to do, and actually is freed. Finn is a quality top laner. Is he great? No, but he's fine. And Zoli's, we'll see if he can get better. KC, on the other hand, they're going to have trouble given the fan base of replacing the French players, which it's unfortunate, but at the same time, it's going to be hard for them to replace the French players. So, I mean, KC have their work cut out for them. Like I said in yesterday's video as well, if you believe neither team's going to do it, and you're going to go against what, history has said, don't just say, I think, therefore it is, say why. I think that you could argue, the way Rogue are playing is not clean, and you could argue the way KC is playing isn't clean, but why in the next 6 months can they not improve? Are they not going to make changes? Are there players not out there that they could swap in and do a better job? So thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, like it. Comment down below. Like I said, subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter. Join the Discord. Become a YouTube supporter. And hope to see you again tomorrow.